If you're listening to this right now, I'm going to guess that you're tired.
Mm,
And I don't just mean physically tired, the kind of tired that a good night's sleep can fix. I mean deep in your bones, spiritually weary.
yeah.
You've probably read all the articles about work-life balance, you've tried the productivity hacks, and yet that feeling of exhaustion, it just sticks around.
It does, and that's what we're here for today. Welcome to this deep dive. We're going to push past all of those superficial tips.
Yeah, we want to get into the really complex, demanding, and just the human side of all this, the silent battles that really define modern life.
Well, our source material for this is it's intensely personal. It's very reflective. It looks at the story of work-life balance as like a scale that almost everyone is trying to hold level,
But it's a scale that almost everyone feels is slipping
constantly
constantly.
slipping from their grasp. Exactly.
So our mission here, it's not to lecture you on time management. We really just want to understand the story.
The story of you, your parents, your partner, your friends, all of it.
And to just acknowledge the exhaustion that real people are feeling in real situations. So the core question we're really unpacking is this. Where does the real conflict lie? Why does this whole pursuit of balance leave so many of us feeling so hollow,
Yeah.
so guilty? Let's start at the beginning. Often before the sun is even up, with working parents, and I think we should start with the working mother because the source material paints such a deeply empathetic picture here.
It really does. It describes this race against time that starts way before she even leaves for work.
A domestic whirlwind, right?
Absolutely. She wakes up and it's breakfast, packing lunches, signing school notes, maybe ironing a shirt. She has to be perfect in a dozen different roles before 8 a.m.
And then just switch.
Yes.
Instantly become this professional person that the world expects to be focused and, unflappable.
It's the invisible load she carries. The source talks about this really intense daily internal conflict because while she's at the office performing, a huge part of her heart is still at home. She's running this secondary emotional calculation in the background.
Constantly.
Mm.
Did my child eat? Did they get on the bus? Okay, were they sad when I left? It's that heavy, constant balance of guilt and responsibility.
And this part is so crucial. People love to say women can do everything. They praise them for it.
But at what cost?
That's exactly what the source asks. At what cost? It's not just the physical exhaustion of doing two jobs. It's the feeling of constantly falling short.
The feeling of being never enough.
Never enough. Not quite perfect enough for the office and not quite present enough for her family. That's the real cost. That feeling of inadequacy, no matter how hard she works.
That is such an insidious feeling.
Yeah.
Now, if we shift our focus a little to the working father, we see a different kind of weight, don't we? It's more of an unspoken pressure.
Yes, a very different pressure. The description is one of calm honesty. He often works late, maybe gets home after the kids are in bed.
And that can so easily be misinterpreted. People assume he doesn't care, or that his ambition is more important than his family.
But the source suggests the reality is so much more complex and painful, really. His long hours are often driven not by a desire for a bigger title, but by a need to make sure his family never struggles.
So his ambition is a form of protection.
It's an act of protection, and this is where society's conditioning really kicks in. Mothers are often encouraged to express their feelings, their turmoil. Fathers are taught to swallow it.
Be the rock, the unshakable pillar.
Right. So he suppresses the stress. He hides the worries about the mortgage or the college fund behind this wall of silence because he feels like he can't complain. Complaining would be a weakness.
So when he's sitting there at the end of the day just quietly watching TV, that silence is mistaken for him being distant.
When really what the source is saying is that quiet is the sound of total exhaustion. He's so tired he doesn't even know how to explain it.
He wants to be present. He wants to engage.
He desperately does. But the sheer weight of responsibility pulls him away. It drains him so much that the emotional capacity he needs to connect, it's just gone. He's working to provide comfort, but the work itself steals the presence he wants to give.
It's a trap, a cycle that catches both parents.
Okay.
Okay, let's transition now. Let's move from the pressures of parenthood to, well, the world of young professionals, the bachelors and young couples hustling in big cities.
Yeah, this is a whole different kind of pressure. They're trying to do two massive things at the same time.
Build a career and build a relationship.
Exactly. They're trying to build a career which today demands almost constant dedication while also trying to nurture a loving partnership. And they're doing it far away from their families, their support networks. It's a struggle for survival.
And we all recognize the symptoms of this struggle, don't we? The late nights online, the unread messages, the missed calls, the dates that get postponed again and again.
And it all leads to that same argument. It starts with, you're always busy, but it quickly becomes something deeper.
You've changed.
You've changed. The partner feels like they're coming in second place to a job.
But this is where the source offers a really profound insight. It says they're not actually choosing work over love. They're choosing survival over everything.
That's the key. When you look at the economy today, the cost of housing, the instability, the safety net that maybe our parents had, it's just not there.
So they're in a constant state of defense.
Precisely. So what they're really missing isn't just time, it's what we could call emotional space. They don't have peace. They don't have the quiet moments you need for real connection.
So what does that do to relationships?
Well, the source comes to a really heartbreaking conclusion. It suggests that relationships today often fail not because people stop loving each other, but because they just stop having the energy for it.
Survival just drains the battery completely.
It leaves nothing left for intimacy. The pressure of hitting your targets or just making rent consumes the very bandwidth that a relationship demands.
Wow. That's a powerful way to frame it. It shifts the blame from a person to the system they're in. Okay, let's shift our tone a bit. Let's get more reflective and talk about long-distance families, the distances we don't really discuss.
This speaks to a huge change in our society, where jobs just pull families apart. You have parents in one city, kids working thousands of miles away, siblings scatter all over the world.
And that physical distance, it just speeds up the emotional distance, doesn't it?
It really does. The source describes it so poignantly. The weekly calls, they get shorter, you see each other for fewer holidays. And the family home itself, it starts to change.
How so?
It starts to feel less like a home and more like a museum of old memories. Every visit becomes about looking back, not creating something new.
And everyone is working so hard, Bud. Everyone is also incredibly lonely in their own way. The kids are lonely in their new cities, and the parents are lonely in that quiet house.
And it all creates this cloud of obligation. We'll meet next month, you say, or I'll visit for the next holiday. But those months just turn into years.
And the only gift you can send home consistently is guilt.
Guilt. It's the emotional tax you pay for chasing success so far from home.
And it's such a toxic substitute for time.
Wow.
Okay, so we've looked at the working mother, the father, the young professional, the long-distance family, different struggles.
But they all share the same feeling of emptiness, this depletion.
Which brings us to the core idea of this whole deep dive. If this exhaustion is so universal, then maybe the solution we've been chasing for decades, time management, is just wrong.
It's fundamentally flawed for the world we live in now. The source provides a powerful counter-insight here.
And what is that?
The truth is, this struggle isn't about time management anymore. The real crisis is about the depletion of our emotional bandwidth.
Explain that. What is emotional bandwidth?
It's that finite resource that lets us process things, feel empathy, listen, and truly connect with another person. And today, everyone is running out of it.
So when it's low, what does that look like?
It looks like scrolling on your phone for an hour because you can't start a hard task. It's snapping at your partner over something tiny. It's having the time, the hour after dinner is free, but you lack the capacity to use that time for anything meaningful.
It's the difference between being clocked out and being switched off.
Perfectly put. And the reality check here is the work will always be there. The deadlines will never end. The expectations will keep going up. That is the nature of things.
So since we can't change the outside world, the only thing we can change is ourselves. How we protect that scarce emotional energy.
It's about setting boundaries that guard your mind, not just your calendar. You can schedule an hour for dinner, but if you spend it fighting mental battles or checking your phone, the time is worthless. It's the quality of your presence that matters.
Which brings us to the final, really crucial reflection. If the work is endless, what truly matters?
What matters are the moments, the fleeting moments. They don't come back. You can't buy them back with a promotion.
The source has some powerful examples of this.
It does. Your child won't stay a child. The window is shockingly brief. Your parents, who are waiting for that call, they won't be here forever. Your partner won't always wait for you to become emotionally available again.
And you would always stay the same either.
Exactly. Your own health and energy will change. So if giving equal time is a myth, we need a new definition of balance.
What is it? The final thought our source offers is this. Balance doesn't mean giving everything equal time. Balance means giving the right things the right attention at the right time. It's about quality, not quantity. And that is the invitation we want to leave you with today. Make time for your people. And when you are with them, be truly with them. Make time for yourself. Make time for life.
Before those irreplaceable moments just slip away. As you go back into this demanding world, please remember this. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to breathe. And you deserve a life that actually feels like it's yours. A life built on your values, not just on external demands.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the silent battles we all face. We hope it gave you a moment of clarity and maybe a reason to defend your own emotional bandwidth.